Good afternoon, good evening. I hope not good morning. Everybody should be up by now. Hey, we're at the Glacier in downtown Howard, where we will have a great fight tonight. But I want to have here Christopher Young, 2024 inducted for the Florida Boxing Hall of Fame. Congratulations.
Thank you so much, sir. Surprised and greatly appreciated.
Hey, you know what? You always do such a great job at Pro Box and Orlando. Tell me a little bit about yourself and the fans, how you came into boxing.
Well, I came into boxing due to my father. My father gave me the passion for boxing at a very young age. When he used to sit there and watch the old tapes of Muhammad Ali, watch the old fights of Leonard and Hagler and Hearns and all that, and watching him be all passionate. So I started. He tried to teach me how to do the sweet science and stuff, and I did a little bit as a teenager. But then got a chance to, go into the Army, and we used to have things called boxing smokers, where your commander would look at you and say, you know what, y'all two like y'all the same size, y'all get in the ring. That's the way it was, And then we worked corners, and just how I got into Florida boxing, I saw the passion and the depth and the talent that the state of Florida has. I'm like, how do I become a part of this? So before I did anything, I started to do as a part-time contributor for Boxing News 24 and the East Side Boxing. And I used to write boxing articles. I used to buy my own ticket and everything, because I didn't know anything about getting a media pass. Okay. And I did that for a while, and then a couple of the guys, somebody like Mike Ross and the late, great Rod Gerardo, saw some of my articles, and they said, why don't you come down to the Hall of Fame? So I come down to Fort Myers, and they said, you have a great way of writing. He says, can I give you an idea? I said, what? He said, why don't you write a book about how to be a referee? So I'm like, I can do that. It took me years to do it, but in the meantime, I started, after I started to phase out from the media part, I started doing amateur boxing. So I was doing that for a long period of time, from 2011 to 2020. And I started to professional from about 2016, 2017. So I was doing that, and at the same time, I was sometimes called in to be the subject matter expert to call blow by blow, from a judging, refereeing point of view, as an amateur, and I did a couple of professional bouts. And then also working with the great Brian Gary, another Hall of Fame himself. And we would give seminars, once a year at the Florida Boxing Hall of Fame regarding refereeing and judging, so the fans can get a little glimpse of how we are trained and what we are supposed to know. And then eventually I did my book, and it actually did very, very well. Just for anybody that wants to become an official, or just the fans want to know, what are we taught? Because it's the small things. People think...
Yeah. Second, I want you to break that down for fans and stuff. What was the process exactly that just to get into Florida after the commission as referee?
Oh, my goodness. I had to go through a very, very gauntlets, if you will. Yeah. 'Cause I started out as a judge first, and Frank Gentile hired me, and told me I had to do 264 rounds. So...
Was there a period of time you had to do it, or you had all the time?
But see, I was hungry.
Okay.
So I drove as far as Miami all the way to Pensacola on my own dime, on my own hotel, and it doesn't matter if the bouts was scheduled for 12 rounds. It was on the first round knockout. I got credit only for one round. So I'd be mad sometimes, like, God, dog it, you know what I'm saying? But it took almost a year, and then once I crossed over, became a judge in April of 2017. And then Frank saw something in me and said, you know what, I'm pitching in the ring. So and they put me in the ring, and I ain't looked back ever since.
And you work referee in the whole state of Florida, or you also do international work?
I've done bouts in 2 in New York, 1 in Alabama, 1 in Virginia. I did 1 in Dominican Republic and everything, and then hopefully I have an assignment that comes up pretty soon. I'll be out of the country again.
And and apparently, refereeing and judging is something that is no secret. We can't hide it. They're eventually gonna have to just start replacing them, coach, just like anything else. When a fighter retires, there's always someone that you pass the baton to. And who, as a referee growing up, who you looked up to? Because we always look up as a fighter who take a little style.
It's a long list, because I have a lot of tape at home. I have a lot of black and whites. I have stuff in Spanish I don't understand. But I watch certain referees like Ruby Goldstein, Arthur McKinney Sr., watch people like Richard Steele, Larry Hazard, even ones in the last 20 years, your Tony Weeks, your Steve Willis, your Robert Birds. So I watched them in the subtlety, because the most difficult part of our job, besides keeping the fighter safe, is the perfect time of stopping a fight. You know what I'm saying? That's very hard.
What is, and that's Christopher, that's what I want to get. What is the one thing you look on a fighter that'll tell you, oh, he's not all there? Because a fighter, for example, a fight that we all remember, when Corrales fought Castillo, one of the greatest fighters of all time. Castillo spit his mouthpiece. Yes. He knew he was in trouble. That shows you he's still there. He's trying to buy some time. Yes. What are the things that you look for are similar to that?
Is the fighter, is what is he doing? Is it instinct, or is he thinking? See, fighting back is instinct. When he spit that mouthpiece out, he was thinking. Okay. Even though it was illegal, he was thinking. Holding is thinking. You see, so when I ask a fighter to step forward, if he's buzzed, he's known he can step forward. But if I actually step to the side, I make you think. Can he do that with a steady gait? And does his eyes match his legs? And if it's not, then I'm sorry, I got to stop the fight. And once again, it all depends on the magnitude of the fight. It's a world championship fight. World championship fight, you give him a little bit of leeway. It's a little bit, because he or she fought their tail off to get to that particular moment. So I've always want the fight to go to its natural conclusion.
You guys, of course, are reporters and promoters and even coaches, fighters. We know what it takes to be a referee. It's not as easy as it looks, just pushing guys. There's so much on you as far as responsibility, just like even you're responsible in a way for the fighter's health because of the amount of punishment that he can take.
Correct. And a lot of fans, we understand the magnifying glass on us, and we understand the critique by the fans. But what they don't understand is that you look at the NFL, look at the NBA, the NHL, MLB, they have multiple umpires, multiple referees to discuss, so they can catch everything from all the angles. It's only one of us, one angle. We got to get it right in real time. Once again, no excuse, and we do our best to prepare, because I know for me, I study between 6 to 8 hours worth of tape. Not just the fighters, but referees. And we also invest in training by going to these seminars by the ABC or the other boxing organizations to keep our tools sharp.
Hey, and another thing, condition.
Yes,
tell them, because you think these guys are on a recliner watching. Condition-wise, because you guys are moving, you guys are pushing, and sometimes you got guys that are twice your size.
Yes, I've been in that ring and such, and been out the ring like I'm sore. I'm like, I ain't fat, nobody. I ain't get hit, did I? But we do have to stay in decent shape. Our legs, our cardio, our mental, and our job is mostly mental. And people understand that. I've been told that, why you look so angry in the ring? I'm not angry. I'm just focused. I'm locked in, because I'm not enjoying the fight. I'm analyzing. And then if somebody told me that's a great fight, I couldn't tell you. Like the fight we did for the WBO featherweight title, the Ramirez and Espinoza.
Yes.
I couldn't tell. I knew it was a good fight, but I didn't know how great a fight it was. Back and forth, the challenger taking away from the champion. He gets knocked down. He comes back and knock the champion down with the last 25 seconds. It was a phenomenal fight, and I'm glad and a pleasure of being a part of that.
Hey, you know what? And because of that, because of your good instinct and your discipline and your consistency, now you're part of the Florida boxing class of 2024. Has it synced in yet?
No, sir. It hasn't. I mean, I've been told this, but I'm like, they got the wrong person. I'm thinking I'm gonna wake up and it's all a dream. But until that happens, I'm gonna still keep grinding and keep doing the best I can and do right by the fighters and do right by the fans as well.
What do you tell the referees that are starting in the amateur, just like you started?